Hey everyone, and I have another Titanfall 2 video for you all today. This time, weekend 2 starts tomorrow for the tech test, and there are some, I would pretty much say some minor changes that are quality of life for the overall game. These are things that they're going to be changing in the full product of Titanfall 2. These are things that are being sort of brought over from Titanfall 1 that weren't in Titanfall 2 because they wanted to change things to make the game feel different and kind of have a different overall vibe, but it did not seem like the community actually felt like these things were good, so they decided to just kind of do a 360 and bring back two things specifically from Titanfall 1. So, for example, in Titanfall 2, when you pretty much do wall running or when you're in the air, your pilot loses speed pretty fast, and don't know why they decided to make this a change, but I think one of the main reasons, one of the main reasons why they wanted to make this change was they wanted to make gunfights and 1v1 fights or pilot fights seem more viable, make it seem like when you're in the game, you're playing not just Titans, you're playing a pilot as well, so you can fight the other pilots in the game without having to worry about, some guy going 60 kilometers and stuff like this. He's going extremely fast and you can't catch up to him, you can't even aim on him, and it's just something that I think is a welcome change, because there's a lot of times where I would be in gunfights in Titanfall 1, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. I would just never be able to actually have a 1v1 gunfight. It was pretty much just Titan fights all the time, and in Titanfall 2, you can have those. You can have a lot of 1v1 gunfights now. There is a lot of aim assist, though, by the way, just to compensate for this, for the extreme speeds, and they're amping up the they're not, I wouldn't say amping up, but they're making sure that you keep your speed while in a wall run, or while you're just in the air transitioning between wall runs, or maybe you just jumped off a Titan or something. They're going to make sure that you keep the speed that you gained and you just don't lose it halfway in. They're going to make sure that Titan movement is more fluid and more faster than it was, so do appreciate that. I kind of want to see how that works. I don't know if it's going to interrupt or kind of deny the flow of the pace of what they're going for. They want to make Titan, or I wouldn't say Titan, they want to make pilot gameplay. They want to make sure that you're able to do these type of things, and the fact that they're kind of bringing back something for Titanfall 1 that was against that, I don't know how it's going to work together, but I'm interested to see. And for Titans, they are going to make it so that now, I don't know if you noticed it, but in Titanfall 2, in the tech test at least, or something that they wanted to keep for the overall game, when you actually start a game, you don't get your Titan over time. You basically have to always be doing something to get your Titan. You always have to be in combat. You always have to be in a gunfight. You always have to be doing something to be getting points towards your Titan, or else you just won't get your Titan at all, really. And if it wasn't like in Titanfall 1 where you got your Titan over time, they gave you points over time. It wasn't much, but it was something just to get you into a Titan, because that was the point of Titanfall, was to actually play as a Titan. And in Titanfall 2, it seems like when you want to get your Titan, you have to be consistently doing something, and I understand that. That's something that I do appreciate, that they want to make an emphasis on gameplay. But if you weren't doing so good, or you just weren't having a good game, or even then sometimes things just weren't going the right way, you would probably get 1 or 2 Titans a game, maybe. And sometimes I would play Titanfall 2 and I'd just get 1 Titan a game, most likely, just because of the fact that the game, it felt like they were slowing you down. They were slowing your progress. They made it so that working towards actually getting a Titan wasn't actually working towards getting a Titan. It was kind of like a chore. You wanted to play as your Titan, and then once you got in your Titan, it would be destroyed, because again, they made the change so that your Titans are more fragile, and you would be in your Titan for probably 15-20 seconds and it would get destroyed by a guy with a rocket launcher maybe, and then somebody rodeoed you, and they took your battery out, and that was it. You just lost your Titan immediately. You worked probably half of the match to get it, and it was gone. And they're making that to change it so you can get your Titan faster to compensate for such things. And also, Titan mobility is being changed so that for the Titans with a dash, or if you decide to put a dash on the Scorched Titan, it will pop up more frequently. Don't know how frequently exactly, but they're going to pretty much make it so that the timing is shortened. From what it sounds like, I wouldn't say significantly, but pretty fair, and gonna see how that works. And also, they're going to make it so that when you're for pilot gameplay, I didn't mention this, when you're in wall runs or when you're in the air, when you're chaining things together, it won't suddenly stop, because in Titan, if you notice, sometimes when you're in between a wall run or a jump, your pilot for some reason decides to stop in midair. That happens to me. They're gonna change that so that doesn't happen no more, thankfully. And that's pretty much it for what they are doing, besides the fact that Another thing is you could pretty much see people from a mile away because it would give you pretty much an outline of what they look like. They're going to be cutting that out. Again, these are all just little things that are going to be happening within Titanfall 2 for the tech test, by the way. This is all pre-alpha. This isn't anything close to the full game. This is a build from, I think they said April or June. So we are ending August. So we are going to be beginning September. So this tech test technically is a 3 or 4 month old build. These are a lot of things that are, I'm pretty sure, are fixed, and just overall things that they will be adding to the final product in October. Very excited for Titanfall 2. This is a game that I absolutely adored and loved playing when it came out in, you know, when it was pretty much the first Xbox One game I got, and excited to see where they go with this. It's been 3 years since Titanfall 1. There's a lot of changes that they're bringing, you know, single player, a lot of balance changes to the multiplayer, a lot of just, and also customization, which is something that they didn't really talk much of, but they did say customization was coming to Titanfall 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little video for today, and stay tuned. I have some Weekend 2 gameplay coming up tomorrow. So have fun and take it easy.